This is the book Beat Depression by David Hinds from 2001. This is chapter 20, Internet Blues. Modern man lives under the illusion that he knows what he wants, while he actually wants what he is supposed to want. Eric from 1900 to 80, The Fear of Freedom. The bottom line, too much time in cyberspace is linked to depression. Are you hooked on the net? Depressed and trapped in a web of misery. More and more people of all ages around the world are discovering that the internet can be an effortless expressway to information about virtually any subject, including depression. But a recent study in America warns that too much exposure to the internet induces loneliness and depression. Worse, a BBC TV investigation into the internet phenomenon screened in the UK in September 2000 revealed the existence of well over 50,000 websites devoted to suicide alone. Some of them linked to those in suicidal despair themselves and hardly qualified to help others in need. The depressed, the vulnerable, and the potentially suicidal. Many depressed people become obsessive in communicating their suicidal feelings over the internet, and they may even encourage others to follow suit. On the plus side, the Samaritans now have a sophisticated email service, and an online dialogue with them does help to reduce the sense of isolation and helplessness for the tens of thousands of suicidal internet users who use the service each year. It also saves lives. Researchers at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, PA, surveyed participants' psychological well-being before and after a 2-year study on the effects of excessive exposure to cyberspace. The findings demonstrated that those participants who had used the internet the most showed the greatest mood deterioration towards feelings of isolation, loneliness, and depression, even if they had predominantly used the social components of cyberspace, email, chat rooms, and bulletin boards. Internet users, particularly those prone to or suffering from depression, would be well advised not to spend too much time swapping emails and lingering in online chat rooms, because it might well finish them off socially, as well as make them even more depressed. Further research in America indicates that millions of computer nerds, approximately 1 in 9 internet users, are escaping to cyberspace in order to avoid physical face-to-face human interaction at home. As a direct and predictable result, contact with family and friends declines in direct correlation to time spent online. Kimberly Young, an American psychologist and author of the book Caught in the Net, John Wiley & Sons, 1998, believes the internet to be as addictive as drugs, alcohol, or gambling, saying In cyberspace, a shy person can become outgoing, a non-sexual person can be sexual, a non-assertive person can be forceful, and a normally aloof person can be gregarious. Andre Levy, a London-based computer expert, says, "People who use the internet to that extent are living their lives in a substitute world, one in which they have no physical interaction. Inevitably, the price to be paid in psychological and emotional terms must be internet blues for some, lost and broken relationships for others, and clinical depression for the most vulnerable. The alternative? Live your life in the real world and use your mouse outside office hours only when necessary and in moderation, for a maximum of an hour or two every day. We were born to live our lives, not surf the internet. The computer was designed to be our slave, but so many of us are becoming slaves to our computers."